Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. So we've got this 1995 F-150 here. It came in, new customer, don't even really know the guy. Got a pretty sweet cowl induction hood on there. It's an old flare side. Don't see too many of these hot rods around here. I don't know if it's always been a New York vehicle, but most of these have long since hit the crusher. So it's going to be what, an old EC5 system, I guess it is, EC5, EC4, I don't know. Old school, pre-OBDII anyways. But it went, he's had it at some other shops, I guess, and he's getting sick of playing Swaptronics and blasting it with the parts cannon. So somebody recommended that he comes here, so it's our chance to take a stab at it. He told me only symptom is it runs poorly, runs really terrible, he says. So we're gonna look at it, see what the deal is. I did not take it on test drive. I started up on the parking lot and it runs terrible. Sounds like single cylinder misfire is all to me. You know, just like, you know, like a crap spark plug or something like that kind of sound, dead. So I haven't done anything to it yet. We'll take a look, see what it looks like under the hood. Apparently it's had the plugs, wires, cap rotor, the whole, you know, typical spiel. He told me the last shop it was at told him that because he ran it low on fuel that it sucked up some stuff and it needs new injectors. And they gave him some big price on injectors, and he just, you know, didn't want to guess because they'd already taken some other guesses that weren't right on. So that's it. That's the story. I don't know any more than that. Should be getting enough air. Oh, it's fake. And it is a 5.0. 5.0. So it's your 302 Ford. The plugs and wires don't, or the wires don't look like new, like yesterday new. A lot of dust on stuff. Let's see. Ignition module's probably been changed. I see it's black and not gray. Anyhow, no engine light obviously because there's no misfire monitors on these old ones. Like I said, this is OBDII. I don't remember seeing the money light on, but I think that's irrelevant because I think it was pretty obvious that it was a misfire, so I think we should just track that down. Take it started up, see if we can see it shaking. It's really pronounced. This ain't hooked to anything, so we can't really tell. Might not be easy to tell in the video, but it is pretty rough. So just a little bit that we know about it skipping. You know, hopefully you guys can hear it on the camera, but I know sometimes that'll pick up like, you know, a bird 4 blocks over, but you know, we won't be able to tell how the truck's running. What I want to do is grab the lab scope here. We're going to get it set up for an ignition scope. This is a regular coil and cap and rotor system. So we'll get this set up so we can see all 8 cylinders, see if we can gather some information from that. You know, that might lead us in the right direction where we got a rich cylinder, lean cylinder, dead cylinder, no misfire, or you know, no spark event. You know, see if we can figure out what's going on just by looking at ignition waveforms. It's something I'm not, you know, really in tune with, you know, or highly experienced with, I should say, because we don't look at them a lot. But we'll see if we can learn something from it. So we've got our scope hooked up here. I got it set up on ignition so we can see all 8 cylinders. So to set this up, you've got to go through and put in, you know, a number of cylinders, type of ignition, firing order, and then we've got this wire here runs over to our trigger, which we picked as you know, number 1 cylinder, and then we have our other pickup on the coil. So with those items, we should be able to see all 8 cylinders and hopefully learn something about, you know, what we're looking for just based on our ignition pickup. So I'll get the camera set up here and we'll fire it up. Well, the best I can do for glare today is pretty bright in here. Go ahead and start it up, Hannah. Oh, make sure shut it off. Just don't want to get it too warm yet, but it seems to be right away. You know, there's obviously an anomaly, so 1372 looks like number 6, assuming we've got everything set up right. Has some very high kilovolt readings. This appears to be an open circuit. We can prove that concept. We should be able to take and yank a spark plug wire off another cylinder, and I think we should see a very similar pattern. Go ahead and start it, Hannah. I'm going to go and pull a plug wire off another one here. Screwing with our scope. That's giving it excessive gap. So you can see our number 8. I'm going to take a turn this so I can see. I'm going to remove the wire. That's completely open right there. Okay, shut off, Hannah. It's a little hard on the system to just completely open a wire like that, but I think that's a good, try to get you out of the glare here. No, it doesn't really help, does it? I think it's good proof of concept, though, that we are dealing with an open, whether it be in the wire. Obviously the coil's firing because you can see it's really stressed out. So I think we just got to chase down, first of all, verify that the wire that I yanked off is really indeed number 8, and then we'll make sure that we're looking at the number 6, and we'll go for the end of that plug wire and see if spark's making it to the end, or, you know, what are we looking at here. So the wire I just yanked off when we were testing it was this one here. So this is the number 1 in the fire order, 1372 6548. So we got 1372 6548. So that's right. So that is number 8. 13726. So this is supposed to be the number 6 right here. So I'll set the camera down. We'll see if we can trace that out. How do these Fords go? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe. We'll double check that too. Alright, so that is how it goes. 4, 5, and 6 are right up this side. What is our fire order? 13726. So 13726. So it's this wire here we determined. And it is on the right one. Second one back. Ha! Would you look at that? That's gonna make for a short video. The name spark plug wire is not hooked up, Hannah. It's gonna look like a hoax. Visual inspection, could have found that one, but it was sitting right on the wire, or on the plug, but it's got a lot of white crusties on it, like it's been off for a while. Let's see if it just... Yeah, it still clicks on. Well, that's gonna be kind of embarrassing for this guy. Alright, let's look at the scope pattern again. Okay. Hopefully it's that easy. Go ahead and start it, Hannah. Okay, so we still have a problem with number 6. So it wasn't that simple. Maybe somebody left it off because that's as far as they got. Okay, shut off, Hannah. tell you what, why don't we see if we have spark at the end of number 6 wire, because you can obviously see we made little or no change. So that's pretty interesting. So maybe somebody just neglected to put it on once they figured out what cylinder it was. That was going to make for a short video that I probably wouldn't have published anyways. Now we got to get this wire back. There we go. Alright, so we got the wire off. Well, I bet we got electricity here because got a lot of tracks on it. She's pretty white and crusty, so we're going to put a spark tester on it here. Ground her out on a fuel rail. Oh, that sound. That'll get everybody screaming. Let's see, that is bolted down to steel, right? I want to make sure it's even a good ground. Or it should be. Of course, it won't hang on to it. Here we're going, this little metal stud right there. Alright, Hannah, go ahead. Well, just a minute, let me move the camera here. We'll start it and we'll see if we got any spark. Okay, go ahead and fire it up, Hannah. Alright, go ahead and shut off. Let me close up the gap on that. We got spark, but boy, it's pretty weak. Okay, go ahead and start it up again. Sometimes the frame rate in which the camera captures stuff doesn't show spark testers really well. It'll make them look, you know, intermittent, stuff like that. But this one had a steady spark, but extremely weak. And the waveform, when I flicked the camera back on, it still showed open circuit. It was still showing, you know, some excessive, you know, kV, some really high output of that ignition coil. I had no place to go. That to me, I mean, basically tells me we probably have, you know, a high resistance in a plug wire, or, you know, near open circuit. What I can do is I've got some old, for whatever reason, I saved old Subaru spark plug wires because they seem to be the handiest. So I've got about 4 of them over there. Instead of just pulling this wire out and ohm testing it and stuff, I'll just grab that wire, we'll stick a different wire on it, and you know, we'll go right back to the spark tester and see if that changes. If it doesn't, then, well, I don't know what, but that should take care of our problem. Alright, so we've got our handy dandy universal Subaru spark plug tester wire. I think Ivan saves these too. They are pretty handy because they'll fit just about anything. So we'll hook this back up to the stud. I did open that gap back up in it because we should be able to jump. I mean, gosh, this thing's putting out, what, the scale goes up to 40 kV. I mean, this thing should really be able to jump a gap, you know, that 1-inch gap, like no sweat. So I've got it opened about, you know, 1/2 inch. Let's see, this was the number 6, right? This is the number 6. So it's not the right end for the cap, but we'll stick it on that stud. It seems to fit externals and internals. Love sitting on these core supports. Let me grab the camera. Okay, Hannah, go ahead and start it. Hey, shut off. Move that a little bit. Okay, start it. Oh yeah. Well, if you can't see it, I hope you can hear it. Okay, shut off, Hannah. So you can see evidence there of, you know, higher than usual kV. We've got a pretty excessive gap. Let me hook that right to the spark plug. I've got our Subaru wire hooked directly to a plug. Okay, go ahead and start it, Hannah. seconds now. Let me rev it up here a little. That plug's probably a little bit fouled, but she's looking pretty good on the waveform here. Let's see. So cylinder 6. Actually right here where we can see, the actual firing kV in reference to, all the rest of them, maximum, minimum. So the actual kV on that is a little bit below all the rest of them. So then we can look at our spark kV. Let's see, cylinder 6. Burn time. I wonder what the gap on that plug looks like a little, just out of curiosity. Go ahead and shut it off, Hannah. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at this plug. Of course, we are running off this Subaru wire. Which, could be some false readings, but it's obvious that we fixed the problem. We did diagnose it correctly. There's no doubt about that. Can't argue with that. But I don't know how long this plug is actually super loose. I didn't hardly push on it. So obviously somebody's been chasing this down. It makes me wonder what the initial problem was they fixed, or did they just do a tune-up and ended up getting a bad wire? Whatever the case may be, this plug was like barely in there. She's hotter than Banshee, of course. I just had it running. This does not look like the correct plug. Let me look this up. So this is the correct spark plug. It's a Champion. I guess I've just never seen Champions in a Ford, but an RV15YC4 is what it is. It's been a long time since I worked on an older vehicle like this. The gap is quite tight on it, which I suspected, with the lower than usual KV numbers. So we'll take and make an adjustment there. We'll stick it back in. Obviously these plugs are new, or at least this one is. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't get the whole story from the fella because he told me the problem was going to be obvious when he dropped it off, as far as the poor running, which it is. See, the book over there said 44 thousandths. I don't know if this gives us a spec anywhere. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, see, this says 52 to 56. Alright. I was just on the parts manufacturer's website when I looked up the spark plug. So what do we got here? That's at 50. I think a big old gap. We'll go 54. That's in between 52 and 56, right? We'll see. So maybe somebody closed this up in an effort to overcome the weak spark. Maybe they realized it had weak spark, and then they closed this gap up a little. So there we go. We got a 54 thousandths. That could be. Whoa, man, hang on. So we'll put this in. We'll tighten it down. See what our waveform looks like then. See if the peak KV has come up a little bit. And then see what this fellow wants to do as far as, the wire. I don't know if he wants to get a single wire, He wants to get a wire set. If this wire set's under warranty. Like I say, none of this stuff looks super new. But maybe he doesn't even know. I don't know. So there. Maybe he's just taking the word on it. The place that he was taking it to, I'm not sure. Oh, let's see. We'll stick the old Subaru wire back on. Click that on. It's on up here. All right, go ahead and fire it up for us again, Hannah. That whole battery sounds a little weaker every time. Pretty good out here. Everything's running about 12,000 volts peak, you know, 12 to 14. They all do look pretty even. So I'm going to call it a fix. I'm not going to chase any more problems on that cylinder, particularly with that you know, Subaru wire on there. Could be a little different in resistance from, you know, what belongs on there. So I'm sure we've got the problem fixed. Of course, you're going to see a constant variation in the peaks as the O2 sensor changes and changes the condition of the cylinder. As far as the rich, lean condition. Cool. Why don't you grab our Advantage for us, Hannah, and the red and the black lead. So we'll grab the Advantage real quick, and we will just offer confirmation for all of our doubters. We will home test this wire, so we don't get grilled on the YouTube. We'll see what it is, just kind of in comparison, because I think I mean, nobody ohm checks spark plug wires. Let's see, and your resistance has nothing to do with peak KV, right? Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've looked at secondary waveforms. I actually took a class on them. Actually, Ivan and I both took a class on them. And it was a fantastic class, but boy, I tell you what, you know, only putting it into practice a couple times after you take a class, it's hard to retain a lot of knowledge. Of course, I still have the book. I'm going to have to go back and reference some stuff. So let's just see. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Obviously, resistance as an open circuit will result. So this one is 24,000 ohms. 24. Oops. We grab a tape measure too. Let's see. That thing's hot. Of course, now it's changed a little bit, but you can see we're 24.7 kilovolts, or geez, kilo ohms. So I think it's 10,000 ohms per feet, and this is about 2 feet long, isn't it? Let's see. How many feet of wire? About 32, so we're a little over 2 feet. So we're a little over 20,000 ohms. Now we will take the other one that's still in the loom here. I don't want to take and slither it out of there, but I assume this one is going to be darn near open circuited. Doesn't look like because of metal erosion, it's all still in there. It's going to be way up into the mega ohms. No, exactly as I anticipated. OL. Oh! Open. Obviously there's still a little bit of a path, an immeasurable path in there. because we still had some spark. But look at that, simple. I did not expect to find that. I thought it was going to be something epic. Even though it wasn't something epic, at least we were able to diagnose this for the fellow without, you know, launching the old parts cannon at it and throwing all the injectors in it like the other shop wanted to do. I'm sure they probably would have felt pretty silly, you know, banging this guy for, you know, $900 or $1,000 worth of injectors and labor and pulling the intake and all that stuff with no definitive proof other than an assumption and a guess. You know, perhaps this shop is one that put on the new wires and the new plugs and, you know, the new ignition module and all that stuff. I guess that goes the old saying, just because it's new doesn't mean it's good, particularly if it's aftermarket. So you just have to kind of keep that in mind. One thing I want to do before we go, I want to see if we can pull this boot off. Have a look. So there's our 45-degree end. Tell you what, let me just grab a pair of snippers here. What do you want me to do, chop it off? I'll take and chop it off. So there it is. Hannah, will you grab us a pair of needle nose, the red needle nose back in the middle? Let's see if we can't open this up here. I'm just kind of curious. Well, you know what? Instead of screwing around trying to open this up, let's just go back with our meter. Because this will tell us our answer right here. Do we need a new wire or we just need a new end? There's the other end of it. There's this end. Stuff like that in there. Oops. Helps if we turn it on. Nope, still open circuit. Sure, leads are good, leads are good. So just for the heck of it, let's cut it back a wee bit further. Let's just chop off. I got a little fuzz. Chop off, you know, a couple inches here. I'm just kind of curious. Problem could be at the other end, problem could be in the middle. Shove that in there. 8.6 kilo ohms. There it is. So somewheres in this last inch or so of the wire lies our problem. Wait, that's slick as penguin snot, Hannah. Just for the sake of testing, let's see if get some slack here. Well, that's where I poked it with my meter. Better chop that off. See if we can fix this end back on there. So oddly enough, one tool I do not have is spark plug wire crimping tool. You believe that, Anna? I have all that crap in that box. I've got a set of dies that go in the vise where you can crimp one of these together. But I just want to know for the sake of experiment, we should be good now. I just want to get this kind of smushed back on there. So put a little dielectric grease on this wire. See if we can't weasel her down in there. haven't got a hold of the customer yet, so I don't know if these, you know, if this wire set's under warranty from whoever put it on originally or whatever, but at least at this point the truck should be drivable again. Ah, man, of course it's all slippery now. Alright, felt like it's down in there. Double check it with our spark tester, see if it's in there. Make sure it didn't rotate on us. Alright, we got it now. Hour and a half later. Alright, ready when you are there, Hannah. A little bit of extra bonus material right there. I don't know what happened to this last, you know, segment of wire, why it was open circuited. Fact is it was, and that's it. So, you know, obviously probably the long-term fix for this would be, you know, a new set of wires, or at least that new wire or whatever. But like I said, I can't do anything until we hear from the customer. Did a little proof of concept there anyways, at least using that wire. It's kind of neat that the problem ended up being right in the very end and not a break somewhere in the middle, so that was kind of cool. I guess we'll leave it at that, and I guess all I will say is just because it's new doesn't mean it's good, and I think we just proved that because of what he's telling us. You know, these plug wires, plugs, you know, components there are not that old. I don't know what the original problem was. You know, I doubt that they were chasing this. That would be like really awful if they were, you know, just because it'd make you feel really bad. You know, you had a number 6 misfire, and when you get done you still have one. Maybe the stuff was done out of routine maintenance. Like I said, I don't know, I didn't get the whole story. Maybe there's more problems beside this, you know, that I don't know either. I'm gonna take it for a drive, but we'll end it here, and just check us out, Google+, Facebook, subscribe to our channel, and just remember, viewers, just because it's new doesn't mean it's good. Thanks for watching.